Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. There's a lot of rumors and speculation running through FC26 right now, but EA started it themselves because with the beginning of the Road to the Final promo dropping yesterday in this game, they've promised the return of a surprise FUT favorite. But that's got everybody wondering, is it a big name player that hasn't been released in this game yet? Is it an SBC? Is it a pack? We don't know. And that's what we have to talk about today. But of course, we've also got to discuss the new Road to the Final promo, specifically the new live events and cups that have been released and the loophole to get more rewards than EA originally planned for us to get. And we have to talk about the best SBC of this promo. Even with 6 days left of this promo, there's no SBC topping this one. Of course, the market is moving as well. We got to talk about prices that went up a lot, how we can still get involved with some investments as well, and how these Road to the Final cards might move since they are live and they get a little bit better of an upgrade than we expected. Let's discuss, guys. If you're excited for this one, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's dive into yesterday's content with Road to the Final, starting in objectives with the new Road to the Final League and the 2 cups. It all starts with the league, which is what you play to unlock either the Champions Cup or the Competitors Cup, or both, and that is the loophole that we'll get into in just a second. But if you read the fine print text here from EA, it says complete one of the 2 challenges in the league to earn a spot in either the Champions Cup or the Competitors Cup. EA seems to be trying to separate these cups into 2 different skill levels, like the Competitors Cup with the slightly lower rewards compared to the Champions Cup is going to be a little bit less sweaty, right? Because you just have to play 12 games to get into this one. You don't have to win to get in. For the Champions Cup, you have better rewards, including higher rated packs, a Playstyle Plus, Evo, and the Conrad Limer card, but you got to win 7 of the 14 total matches in the league to get into that one. But that is where the loophole is realized. If you win your 7th match in your 12th game that you play, you will unlock both of the cups and then be able to play in both of them to get both sets of rewards. That was what we figured out on stream yesterday, just a little bit after content, after realizing that this is not something that we're supposed to be able to complete both of the cups. There's a little loophole to be able to do so. And it is confirmed that it is working, guys. Multiple people have replied in the comments saying that they won their 7th game. They won their 7th game in their 12th total match, and they got both of the cups unlocked. We've done this before with gauntlet rewards earlier in the year, so that's why we were quick to point it out on the stream. Now I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to get my 7th win on game number 12, but if I'm not able to, I'm not going to treat it as the end of the world, because I think overall these are some fun rewards, like a 1 of 3 final Road to the Final player pick for the lower level Competitors Cup. Then you got a 90+ Road to the Final guarantee pack from the Champions Cup. I'm going to try to get this done and get the loophole done, if you will. But regardless, it's a fun little way to try out a live event and a tournament. It's unique. It's different. The squad requirements aren't that crazy. You just have to have a little bit of a lower rated team. I'm having fun playing the league so far as well, I will say. There's a bonus objective for the league too, where you get a Conference League Alemão here, and you get yourself a cosmetic Evo as well, and an 85 double, an 83.5, and an 86+ player pack. So even that league is giving some decent packs alongside of unlocking the Champions Cup. If you want more information on that, we had a YouTube short, TikTok, Instagram post kind of about that as well, and I'll answer some of you guys' questions down below in the video as well. Now, on the campaign tab from yesterday, we do have a Road to the Final objective player. It is Morten Hajolman from Sporting. Not the greatest chance of getting upgrades, but man, with these Road to the Final cards, the upgrades, man, they are better than we originally understood them to be. But before we get to that, let's talk about the Evos. We had an Arjen Robben inspired Evo yesterday called the Dutch Decider. It is our max 88 right mid or right wing Evo, and it does give some very good stat boost, some very good play styles. You get Tech Plus, you get Finesse Plus, you get a nice little boost all around the card. You're getting pace, dribbling, shooting, a little bit of passing. I mean, it is a solid Evo. It's not crazy. We've had some crazy Evos recently, right? This one's not crazy, but I still think for 75,000 coins, if you find the right card, it is good. Now, for my top 2 options here of Pulisic and Kudus, I just don't think the stat boost is big enough for me to want to upgrade the card to 90 rated. maybe I'll do some figuring out with some playstyles and give Kudu something else other than Tech Plus, but I'm not quite sure who I'm going to put into this yet. This Essien card looks really unique through this evolution, by the way. Not that you'd want him to have those playstyles you would get from this, but really, really unique there. The card I do think I'm leaning towards in this Evo is Gio Reyna, the card that we just got from Objectives, looking to boost him up to make him a bit more usable, and I think he still would be live. He still keeps the Answer the Call card design, and I know he's going through an Evo, so it's always risky Evoing a live card, but hopefully Reyna makes the squad, and that'll become a 3 playstyle plus card in the not-so-distant future. If you take a look at FUT Bin, you can see there are some good Evo combinations coming in here for Semenyo's Player of the Month. That's a really good boost for him, taking him from a 90 FUT Bin rating up to almost a 94.0. And then you've got a couple of crazy chains in here that you're seeing that are probably expired, so just be very careful looking into that. Claudia Pina's Winter Wildcard, Estevao, Messi, Oscar Bob's fantasy card looks pretty good in this one, so make sure you check those out. Even Gareth Bale fits in it as well. For 75,000 coins, I don't think it's bad. It's just not super crazy. It's good. Like, I'd rate that as like maybe a 7 out of 10 Evo. Now, the free Evo we had yesterday is for a left back, and if you don't have 2 playstyle pluses on your left back, then maybe you don't like this one because it gives Power Shot Plus as the second playstyle plus on a card if you already have 1 PS Plus. It gives Intercept Base, Power Shot Plus, some really big stat boosts, Quick Step, and then Bruiser Plus, also with Rapid Base at the very end as well. And you can take a look at FUT Bin and see that there are some very interesting cards here. Maybe you've got a Bruiser Plus from Objectives that you could put on Nuno Mendes before giving him this Evo and making him a 95.1 overall left back. That's pretty crazy. Alfonso Davies, Ferland Mendy's knockout royalty cards fitting into this. Alvaro Carreras has got a couple of chains. Digne, his card from World Tour, is fitting into this as well. This is actually a really good free Evo for chains. If you want to figure out a new left back for a gauntlet squad, once again this week we have 4 rounds of the gauntlet incoming. That is a solid little free Evo there. Now, let's take a look at yesterday's SBC content where it started early with the March Player of the Month, Carlos Espí. I'm going to say it. This looks like a fun SBC for a really cheap price because 4-star, 4-star, quick step and finesse, but 6'4", lengthy with those stats. Low driven, incisive, Tiki. EA gave him the good play styles that you would want for this card. And legit, his price of 1 squad, for 1 squad to complete it, is 23,000 coins. That is very cheap. So if you want to try out just an interesting player that you maybe never have used before, Carlos Espí Player of the Month is very, very cheap. Now, the other player SBCs we had yesterday, Andres Iniesta Knockout Royalty. This SBC is surprising me a bit. Yeah, it's not terrible value, but also we just got crazy midfielders through the 500,000 coin Evo. But I don't know if many of our midfielders we created from that have 94 passing and dribbling with incisive and tiki-taka, and those midfielders are not Andres Iniesta. He is 58% upvoted. That's the thing that's a little bit surprising for me. I thought most people would not want to complete this because it might be behind the curve, quote unquote, but looks like a lot of people are starting to do it and craft it at 12 squads. The price is not bad. It's okay. So that's a solid one. I'm going to be skipping that one personally, but I think that is a solid SBC. The other player SBC yesterday is one that's even more popular. Eze Road to the Final with finesse and Tech Plus with other very good base playstyles, including the incisive and the tiki and the rapid. He's got 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills, can play cam, striker, and left wing. The stats look very good. And if you take a look at the price, it's only 6 squads. It's 346,000 coins. And when you take a look at the Road to the Final cards in the market, if this card was on the market, you'd think he'd be at least 300K, if not more. But it's those upgrades and the upgrade path for these cards that makes it really interesting. Guys, we learned yesterday that the upgrades, every game matters for the upgrades, basically. It's not just one win during the quarterfinals or the semifinal 2 legs to get an upgrade for the card. Each of the singular games from here on out to the end of Champions League, there is an upgrade on the line. So for the first quarterfinals match upcoming in early April, Eze is playing for a +1 playstyle base. In that second match, he's playing for another second base playstyle. Qualifying for the semifinals gives a roll ++ and a skill mover weak foot up to 5-star. And then semifinals 1 game, +1 overall for a win or draw. Semifinals 2nd game, +1 overall for a winner draw. Qualifying for the final gives a third place plus. And then if you win the final, you go to 96 rated, 5-star, 5-star. So this Eze, even for just getting to the final of Champions League, or even if they don't get to the final, but they win one game in the semifinals, is going to get 2 base play styles, a 5-star skill move boost, more roll pluses, and then potentially a +1, at least a +1 for the overall rating if they don't even get to the final. But if they do, +2, then the chance to play for a 96 rated boost. So I mean, those upgrades are a bit far in the future, for sure, and I understand that. But with every game counting, that not only makes these cards and SBCs really intriguing, it makes the cards on the market really intriguing for trades. Now, obviously, people are liking this Eze because if you take a look at other center attacking mids like Javi Simons, they dropped yesterday after content. They did rebound a little bit, but even some expensive center attacking mids like Arda Güler, who's back up a little bit now, he went from 900,000 coins down to 750, 760. I picked one up there and sold him on the bounce, but a lot of those center attacking mids dropped yesterday because of this Eze SBC, and he is out for 2 weeks, so you have time to get this one done if you'd like to. Now, that's not even all the SBC content. Guys, we had 2 very fun and unique. That was the thing we talked about in yesterday's video. What was EA going to do that was fun? And one of these SBCs is fun. The other one, I think, is a scam. This is the scam. The 86 plus campaign rewind player pick. Yeah, I get it. It's a cool opportunity to pack cards that were only released as SBCs. Somebody tweeted me yesterday a picture of Team of the Year Marcelo from this player pick that they got. I got like a Showdown Berhalter card that was released way earlier on in the year. Sure, that could be a fun card for Evos, but for an 86, 87, and 88 rated squad, to pack a player of the month that was released in November or October as your best card from this player pick, which does happen way more often than you'd like to think, I have to agree with the 19% upvoted, 81% downvoted, specifically with the price of this SBC. But it is a very unique one. It is a fun one. You could hit something big, like Player of the Month Pina, if you never did that one. Player of the Month Lamine Yamal, stuff like that. Mbappe, Player of the Month. You could potentially pack them from those. So it's a gamble. It's a risk. The weight is not good, but it is there. Now, this is the SBC that might be the best SBC of this promo. I said that earlier. I stand by it. Road to the Final upgrade, repeatable every day. I didn't think EA was going to release a Road to the Final guaranteed pack for this promo with the upgrades that we can get. Guys, yesterday people were packing Mbappe, Doué, and some of the best cards in this promo from turning in 2 83 rated squads with 1 inform, and this refreshes every single day. Now, I got 2 fodder cards from my 2 packs that I opened yesterday, but this is making a couple of things move on the market, specifically informs. Informs have been like minimum price for the past couple of weeks, and yesterday they went all the way up to 13,000 coins. They're back down to 11K now, and with that price movement and with this SBC refreshing every day, I think informs are investable this weekend between today and tomorrow at 11,000 coins. Try to get them on bid, try to get them on snipe. I think today they'll probably be sitting around 11,000 coins again. They go up a little bit for content and then drop down into the hours of, like right now when I'm posting this video, kind of the late night, early morning hours. There's less demand for people buying those. I think this is a good investment this week because informs show signs of going above like 11, 12,000 coins where they were stuck in the last couple of weeks. Now, speaking of fodder, let's look at this really quick in terms of the market. 85s are back down to about 3K. 86s are there too, and 87s are still 3.7K as well. Some of the 88s and 89s actually went up a little bit, but I don't really think I want to invest in those just yet. You guys remember, some of the low points for fodder every weekend are on Sunday morning. Sure, we'll have a fluctuation or two today. Maybe these cards as 85s will go back up to 3.5K at content, 3.7K. It's very possible, but I'd wait until Sunday morning with squad battle rewards to really make a big investment on fodder if that's what you want to do. And once again, I'd focus probably on the 85s, but some of the SBCs that 85s are very useful for, like a couple of those FUT Birthday guarantees, are getting closer to expiring. Not they're going to expire right away, but at least they're getting closer to expiring, which may hurt a little bit of the demand for the 85s. The FUT Birthday Team 2 upgrade legit goes away today at content. The 89 plus FUT Birthday Team 2 goes away in a couple of days. So I still think 85s can be a good buy, but I want to see them maybe get down towards like 2.5 to 2.5K would be ideal on Sunday for those as an investment. Now, let's take a look at the team that is in packs. The road to the final cards, my goodness, are these rare. They are rare and they are pretty expensive if you take a look at their prices on the market. We've got a Musiala who sure did get a really good boost, but he's up here at like 1.5 to 1.6 million coins after being even more expensive than that yesterday. Guys, I have to imagine, even with the live and upgrading aspect with these cards and me wanting to invest in them, there's team of the season that is still like not too far away. We have an icon and hero promo with Trophy Titans that is not too far away as well. So these cards will be good investments. Road to the finals end up always being good investments. They have been for years and years and years. But I just think they're going to drop further in price today. I don't even know if they're going to rebound that well heading into the morning hours. I picked up a Sorloth for 360 or 370,000 coins right in there, but I'm just going to treat it as a quick flip because I think that all these cards are going to drop a little bit lower today, even though they are live and in such a big way, right? Sancho up here, 410K. These cards are rare, guys. They are very rare on the market. They're not getting packed a lot. EA did not drop a lot of tradable lightning rounds yesterday, which is keeping them a bit unique on the market as well. So I think I'd be just careful with these cards, but the rest of the market is doing very, very good. We'll talk about trades and maybe some investments here in a second, but I want to get to the biggest news before we get into that. Also, one last word on this promo team. W player selection. I know we had the leaks beforehand and stuff, but like Doué, 4 mil, Salah, 4 mil, Rashford. There's going to be some ridiculous cards that come out of this with the upgrades these cards could get. So W player selections, EA's putting in the big name players, and that makes it cool to open those daily packs, the daily SBCs, right? The road to the final upgrade packs, because then it's like, you actually feel like you not have a chance at something big, but there's a chase there. And seeing people in the stream yesterday hit some of the big pulls, you're telling me there's a chance. That's how I feel every time I open one of those road to the final packs, and I think I'm going to be feeling that way throughout the whole rest of the week. Now, let's talk about the biggest news. EA mentioned in a couple different places yesterday, but it's mentioned here on this news tab. And this is what a lot of people are starting to speculate about and really starting to wonder, what else does EA have up their sleeve for this road to the final promo that was allegedly just a filler promo between FUT Birthday and Trophy Titans team of the season? They say here, this last line, stay tuned for objectives, SBCs, and evolutions throughout the week with a couple of special surprises along the way. And specifically on an in-game message that we all saw when we logged into the game yesterday after content, they said, keep an eye out for objectives, SBCs, evolutions, and more, including the return of a surprise FUT favorite. Now, the way that's worded, and I think FUT Sheriff is posting this graphic here with the question mark on a gold card, the way that's worded makes you think that it's a player that is coming back. A surprise FUT favorite makes it sound like somebody who's either not in the game, hasn't had a card this year, is going to be getting a card because they used to be a favorite card back in the day. Now, is this a favorite that used to have a crazy road to the final card like this Ryan Kent had a road to the final card? Shout out Marshall. That's a great shout for kind of a throwback road to the final card that was pretty meta. Would it be like a Renato Sanchez? Because he had a couple of road to the final live items that were pretty crazy back in the day. I don't know. That's the question mark. Other people are thinking about Neymar with this. Other people are thinking about Thiago Silva and the Brazilian league that we've seen rumors about getting licensed in this game, but there hasn't been anything super credible yet. Like, there haven't been a whole lot of new transfer cards added either for a Thiago Silva or for a Neymar. Those are just two names that people have been throwing out. Hulk is another name people are throwing out. Like, nobody knows right now. But that's kind of the fun with this, guys. Like, what do we talk about all the time? Leaks really kill the idea of the dreaming, of the wishing, of the speculation game, right? Like, it feels like we can dream a little bit with this. I'm sure it's going to be leaked, and I'm sure that we're going to hear about what player it is or what pack it is or what SBC it is that EA is going to be as dropping as a surprise during this week. But it's just kind of fun to theorize and to speculate about it for a second. It doesn't have to be a player necessarily. They said multiple surprises as well. So could there be exchanges that get dropped? Like, that's one of the things that I've been talking about recently that I think would help Fodder a ton. And with these road to the finals and packs and even Trophy Titans upcoming, absolutely I'd go for another level of menu grind right now where I could stock exchanges, rip player picks on end, or save the exchanges for the next promo during Icons and Hero week and go crazy on packs during that week. Like, that sounds fun as well. So I'm sure it's going to be leaked, and I don't want to belabor the point because we really just don't know about it yet. I'm sure it's going to be leaked. These guys are going to figure it out. But for right now, it's a question mark, and we'll see what these other surprises are. Now, we've seen this one, right? The bronze special pack. Will this surprise have something to do with April Fools? I really hope that whatever surprise they're talking about is not this. If it's just this, that will be like the saddest thing ever. But at least here in game, it says a couple of special surprises. And then that in-game message when we loaded in said, or made it sound like it'd be a player. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Neymar, Thiago Silva, like what player would you want to see added? Would it be a road to the final? I don't know if it would be. Would it be a flashback? Who knows? That's the thing. We can dream right now at the moment before it gets leaked, and I'm really curious to see what that is. But it keeps me, I don't know, it's fun. I like that. It's fun that we keeps us guessing about that, and I think it's pretty cool. Now, let's talk about the market before we go into the rest of the content that we can expect today on Saturday. Guys, the market yesterday was moving really good. There was a fantastic Friday night bubble where prices rose a couple hours after content as people were buying teams for Weekend League, and that was another great time to sell. There was some panic on the market too. I bought a Salma Parluelo who's extinct at 1.7 again. I bought her for 1.48. She was as low as 1.4 flat, sold for 1.6. Traded some of these new road to the final cards. They were great for fluctuations in the first hour. Bought 2 stars at 250, sold at 310. But it's not even just the crazy flips and the risky flips that you can look to do. It's the simple stuff, guys. Reading the graphs, because the cards are moving up and down in the market. The answer the call cards have moved up very, very well. And a lot of prices have just recovered from where they were earlier in the week when there were so many coins being drained across the whole entire market. So using bids and using the FUT bin graphs is easy money right now. It is such easy money. Like this my con on bid right now, like he might go on bid for 300k flat. I know I can sell that card for 340 to 350,000 coins. So I'm absolutely going to add that to my targets. This Cole Palmer was almost 950,000 coins yesterday. So I picked one up for 850 just a little bit ago. Right now he's still showing as 880, but then like the next cheapest after that is 980. All you got to do is read the FUT bin graphs, watch the card prices, and buy and sell. I bought 2 Di Natalis because somehow he was down at 1.1 mil. And I just sold one at 1.3, and I have another one that I can sell there as well. So number one trading opportunity right now is still getting on the bids because the market's doing very, very good, and prices are moving up pretty well. Now, I will say with some of the leaks that we do have out there, we might need to be careful with a couple specific positions, center midfielders and center defensive midfielders, but we'll talk about that in a second. Last thing to discuss, FUT birthday cards. EA did not release the tradable store packs that supplied FUT birthdays. That was one thing we were watching for very closely yesterday. They did not release those. They are not here in the store. So that means the only supply for FUT birthdays that we have right now is from the level 13 premium pass player pick. And that's why some cards like Lamine Yamal rebounded up yesterday. Right after content, if you guys noticed, these cards exploded for a quick minute. So people were buying them back. Now, they're trending upwards, but it's not like they're all flying. ASM still 460. Vardy still 380,000 coins. Dumornay still 900k. Some of the cheaper cards, Igor Thiago, for an example, 47k. He's absolutely flying. Dante is continuing to rise up a little bit as well. I mean, yesterday he was up a little bit higher than this, but a lot of these cards were low at content and then rebounded afterwards. We'll just have to see how these cards move. I'm just treating these as like risky trades at the moment, and I don't really want to invest in FUT birthdays. But now that the supply is maybe more gone than it was before, maybe the FUT birthdays can continue to just go up in price. But we'll have to see. Of course, the bakery is still there, but how many people are going to continue to buy those FUT birthdays to put in the bakery? That's the question mark that I still just can't sit right with. Feeling like I want to invest in those cards, making me want to stay away. Now, let's look at Saturday content today and other SBCs that are leaked. Of course, we got this big old list of names, right? Iniesta Eze, cross them off. Kubarsi, still on this list. Is probably the SBC that most people would be interested in today. I think Kubarsi is very possible. Cannavaro is very possible, but we've been getting showdown SBCs on Saturdays recently. So I also think Savava and Bussy for the Women's Champions League showdown would be a very possible SBC that we could be getting today on Saturday as well. So watch out for that. Probably one, if not 2 different player SBCs. And speaking of SBCs, if you guys remember the FC Pro cards, the Bergval, the Ake, and those others that we got, those SBCs expire early today before content. And we have the E-Premier League final broadcast that is going on. So if you want to watch the stream today, scan the QR code behind my face cam here in Objectives under the Pro tab. You watch for 15 minutes, you watch for 60 minutes, and you get 2 packs. And then the next broadcast will be next weekend where you will get some more packs as well for the E-League 1. So that's just one thing I wanted to mention. I picked out Bergvall, did that SBC. The other SBCs inside of that are expiring today too. So as you can see here, expiring even before content for Ake, Talbi, and Okafor. So if you want to get that done, those cards are playing for their upgrades today, and the free packs are there. Now, the Evo situation that I want to talk about, that I'm a little bit worried about midfielders for, is since we had an Evo today that was kind of named and, inspired by Arjen Robben, EA said on their website there's another Evo they're going to be releasing, and it's named after Federico Valverde's recent first half hat trick against Manchester City. So it sounds like soon we will get a center mid, center defensive mid Evo that would boost a card similar to Fede Valverde. Now, how is that card going to look? Well, Fede Valverde has got great stats all across his card, and he's got some pretty crazy cards here. Like, he's got the 91 star performer that's got the huge shooting boost, great passing, great pace, just a great card overall in general, right? An amazing player, 89 rated gold card. He's got a lot of promos. He's the one we makes fun of because he's got 390 rated cards, and, a lot of cards, not a lot of rating boost on his items. Anyways, whatever Evo we get that is Fede Valverde inspired, if it's going to be similar to this one from Robin, it's going to be pretty good. So I don't know if that's today or not. We'll have to watch out on the leaks to really decipher that. But as you can see, some CDM, CM players are starting to move up on the market as maybe people get ready for this. And maybe that's a reason to be a little bit more careful trading with midfielders on the market, as those prices, if this Evo is really, really good, could drop a little bit as well. So I picked up a Cruyff. I picked up a Sorloth. Maybe just doing a couple of quick flips at the moment. Like, this Cruyff was 420K yesterday. I know that we had the Eze, but this is a card that, even though his SBC is still out, his price has gone up since the SBC released, as people must be buying this and then Evoing it, which is pretty crazy when his SBC is now very affordable, but that is happening. So I picked up one of him, picked up a Sorloth for a quick flip, and then I have a couple other out-of-packs cards for trades, and that's kind of the current state of my club with the coins almost being back at 10 milli, almost. We spent some coins on store packs yesterday and almost got the coins back up. But I'm going to go play some more games in this Road to the Final League, hopefully get the 7 wins on the 12th match played. We can get the Limer, we can get the other cups going for the weekend. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy it, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment below if you have any questions. And of course, subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in a video tomorrow. Have a happy Saturday. It's been TheFutAccountant. I'll see you there. Peace out.